Get on with the job, and Papua New Guinea to defend with their lives. No Ellery Hanley in this Great Britain side. He's out with a sprung shoulder, but of course, as I said, a chance for Gary Schofield in his 32nd test to show his credentials as a captain. And we do have chances to Michael Jackson, not the American pop star, but Wakefield Trinity's exciting pack star, making his debut. Paul Moriarty joining him in that back row of the pack, the 26 years old Widnes player. But ideal conditions, blue sky, the groundsman been at work all week, and there we have the two captains, Gary Schofield and exciting halfback Stanley Harrow, and a big day for Bill Harrigan, his first trip there, the referee, to England. Very experienced man, 2 tests he refereed, New Zealand and Great Britain on the tour last year, and he's covered the last 3 grand finals in Sydney, Australia. I don't think really that the toss will make any difference as far as ends is concerned. Not a breath of wind out here, but Gary Schofield decides that he will play to the cop end. So Britain in the traditional British jerseys of white with the red and blue chevron, and the exotically coloured Papuans to the left of our screens.
I think, Ray, we'll see the Great Britain side start out. They'll probably play a little bit one-out rugby league. I think they'll just try and establish something down the middle of the park, and you know, I don't think we'll see a lot of ball movement early. We can look for a Gary Schofield kick very early in the game, though.
And I think, John, perhaps Mal really will want to get his pack on top of these Papua New Guineans early too.
Well, that's certainly the way you've got to go. You can't try to go round the team early in the game. You've got to establish something straight down the middle.
Alex, how are conditions down there on the pitch?
Well, the conditions out here are absolutely perfect, and really just looking at the opening minutes of this game where the Papua New Guinea side really looked keyed up, but having said that, so did Great Britain.
And Great Britain, as we expected, driving these big forwards down to blast holes out of the way. Paul Moriarty there, 16.5 stone, second row. Edwards to Davis. Oh, that's pace. Davis is going away already. Beautiful sidestep. Oh, and there's the first try on the board already. Brilliant piece of magic by Davis. And the poacher, they call him, Gary Schofield, finished off with barely played a minute. Magnificent effort from Davis and Schofield.
Well, Sean Edwards brought the ball across to the short side there, Ray. Gave the ball to Jonathan Davis a little bit of room. He beat 2 or 3 tackles, and then backing up down the middle of the park as Gary Schofield, as he always is. But that try was set up with a lot of good work from the first 3 rucks, from Andy Platt, Harrison and Moriarty. They really powered the ball up and got the thing well over the halfway line in 3 tackles.
And barely 50 seconds into the game, and Great Britain are 4 points to 0 in the lead. Davis then with his first shot. Should be a simple conversion for him. It is. So already just barely 50 seconds gone on that clock when the try was registered. 6 points to 0. And who knows, could this Jonathan Davis be in for a bag of points this afternoon? So Papua New Guinea up against it already. Steve Hampson been in very good form for Wigan this season, very safe under the high ball, very dependable. Dennis Betts. And I think, John, Papua New Guinea, as you said, have really got to stop these big men in the middle, haven't they?
Well, they're going to have a very tough afternoon, because if you notice, they're not going forward well enough in defence, and they're, you know, they're making their tackle on the forwards where they line up. So they're getting back a good 5 yards with Bill Harrigan, but they're just not going forward.
Tremendous burst there by Jackson with the forward pass.
Yeah, there's a little bit of inexperience come out in Jackson there. There was no reason to force that pass out like that, and I think that's but he's going to be better for this game. He got away down the middle, Martin Dermott, and then he slipped a nice ball, but this pass here is really forced out and it was never on.
So, Papua first touch of the ball. Chris Etam, 23 years old, from the Mount Hagen club. I think these Papuans have really got to spread this ball. They haven't really got the size to take this big British pack on down the middle. One of the more experienced lads there, number 13, Joe Gisby. That's a good drive. Good drive there from Naipau. Good tackle. Good tackle. Wagambi for Papua. I think this is where Papua are a little slack, John, around the rucks, to play the ball situation.
Well, you know, they've got to do a bit of work in there, but they definitely have to come forward in defence.
Paglipari, good little work. I think possibly of all the games I've seen on tour, this lad has been outstanding, this number 9, Paglipari. Gisby, an experienced player, plays with the New Guinea club in Port Moresby. And this is the style that we know. Oh, that was a tackle surely, off the ball. No need for that. Well spotted, or easily spotted by referee Harrigan. Having a word with Dennis Betts.
Well, here we see the player kick the ball through. Dennis Betts was committed, and he wasn't really a shot. He tried to pull out at the last minute, but he was committed to the tackle, and the player took a nice dive anyway.
And number 6 there, Tuxi Carew from Port Moresby. Very tall lad, 6 foot for a standoff. Unusual size. Well built lad. As big as one or two of the Papua forwards.
They've probably got to take a little bit of a chance, New Guinea, and kick the ball like that, Ray, and you know, just do a couple of things that are off the cuff, because they're certainly not going to wear this Great Britain side down. They're going to have to use a little bit of flair and give the ball some air and see what happens. I think that's you know, that's the main chance that they've got in this game.
So Philip Bogie to take the kick. 5 goals already on tour. Centre. Has played at full back. I saw him have a very good game earlier in the tour. Very good under pressure. And I think he wants to take his time, wants to calm his nerves. Expect that they would favour the Australian style. So Bogie looking to put 2 points on the board. No, just underneath, just falls short. Paul Moriarty coming away. So still Great Britain in the lead, 6 points to 0. And I think we can possibly see Alec down there on the bench, referee Harrigan, bringing the teams possibly more than 5 yards apart.
Well, he's given a good 10 metres, Ray, but there's a little bit of concern on the bench here. I've just been having a word with the Papua New Guinea coach, Rob Pearce, and he was a little bit concerned that the referee didn't play the advantage and award a penalty try, because Papua New Guinea had the ball in the hands and he thought that they could have scored a try from that.
Well, I think he'd be a little bit ambitious. So, Great Britain now on the attack. Paul Newlove. Carl Harrison. Had a good series in the tests last season against Australia. Dennis Betts, there's another one. One of Great Britain's exciting young stars, 21 years old. Schofield. That's a good ball for Jackson. Jackson lying off nicely there, coming deep, coming out wide. Great Britain already dominating possession and territory. 5th tackle. A little chip. No, Moriarty, he's big. Not quite big enough, not quite big enough. Good Good decision from referee Hannigan there. Took up the right position, John, in the in-goal area.
Well, I think he's been the top referee in Sydney for the last 2 or 3 seasons. He's done the grand finals, and he's done a lot of the test matches, the New Zealand test matches. So a very experienced referee, and he doesn't make too many mistakes.
That was some tackle. That was some tackle. And Martin Dermott there. Little Paglipari, little live wire, this lad from the Defence Club in Port Moresby. And that's a good kick from the skipper, Haru. Forcing Great Britain back. Newlove, 14.5 stone there on the wing, as big as any of the Cummels forwards. But I think that's what Pappy have got to do, John. They've got to play well away from their line, haven't they?
Well, they're finding it very hard, right? They've just kicked that ball, and Newlove was able to bring the ball straight back into the New Guinea half. And Andy Platt, they're just getting too many yards down the middle of the park, and they've got a lot of defence out wide, and they're not holding up in the middle.
Harrison to Betts. Betts, Harrison, Moriarty, really causing trouble around these rucks. Dermott going again from this acting half-back position, but the 5th tackle, well, I think rather a wasted ball there. So the handover. After 6 tackles, the ball handed over to the opposition. Are there any problems, Alec, with the standoff? Carew, he's had a couple of knocks in these opening 10 minutes.
We're finding out down here he's got a knock on his shoulder, and it seems very sore indeed. They're going to be another 5 or 10 minutes, and they might bring him off. But the problem where Great Britain are having at the moment, Ray, you just probably think there's too many people in the line at one time.
So if we look at this kick, Ray, Steve Hampson will be able to bring this ball back on the first tackle and probably get over the halfway line. And it just puts them under pressure again. They've just got to try and establish a little bit of field position and get the ball down the other end.
So just over 10 minutes gone, 6 points to 0, and already this Paul Newlove, the Featherstone Rovers, normally centre, put on the wing there, causing a lot of problems. And referee Harrigan having a word with Naipo as to holding Newlove down in the tackle. Davis then to put to touch. Just looking for position, not really looking to gain a tremendous amount of ground, just as long as Great Britain have got this ball in their hands. And Anthony Sullivan, first touch of the ball. He makes his debut.
Just gives Great Britain a chance to put something on, one of their nice little set pieces. Sean Edwards going to take the ball across the park, and they're definitely looking to go wide on the play.
Edwards at the hub of things, first receiver. No, a little bit of indecision there. Good defence from Papua. This is what I'm sure their manager Rod Pearce will have insisted upon. Oh, that's better, and he's in. So Paul Moriarty scores a try on his debut. Long time since we had a Welsh second row. People like John Mantle, John Warlow. 10 years since we had a convert from the Welsh code playing in the Great Britain side. The days when Glyn Shaw was running rampant.
Yeah, they've plugged away there for a while, and I think it's Powell that hits the hole here. Puts the ball over the top to Moriarty, and he scores an easy try. It's he just gets through there, sucks a couple of players in, and no wonder the Papua New Guinea standoff is not in real good shape with this fella running at him.
I think the problem is, John, that the forwards are so big, they're sucking the Papua New Guineans in midfield. Once they're there, then the gaps are out there wide on the outside.
Well, it is, and from a coaching point of view, Ray, you'd hope that the Great Britain forwards wouldn't see all that space out wide and try to get out too wide, and leave it to the backs to do the job that they're paid to do. The great
points, prolific point scorer since his arrival in the game. It's struck well. No, just floated across the pitch. So 10 points to 0 for Great Britain. The 5 previous tests between these two nations, Papua New Guinea only won one of them. That, of course, was the test in Goroka on the 1990 tour when we had everything. We lost 20 points to 18. we had 100-degree temperatures, we had tear gas, we had everything. A little different here in November at Wigan. Mr. Harrigan keeping them well back. I think one or two of these Great Britain forwards, John, looking to run a little too much now with the ball.
Yeah, that was a difficult ball to catch from Andy Platt. Martin Dermott pumped it at him, pulled it back and then threw it to him the second time, and you know, they're always a little difficult to catch, but they're going to get some tackling practice in now, Great Britain, and we'll see how they go.
Unagi, one of the biggest of the Papua New Guinea players. Paglipari trying to set things in motion on this side to Haru. Bogey again. A good defence, good cover there by Sean Edwards. And Naipau having a good game this second row. Just a youngster, first tour, 21 years of age. That's a good kick. It's making Hampson come forward. Well, yes, another 6 tackles. Hampson touched the ball with his foot. So Papua New Guinea, first attack. Paglipari then trying to move it. Can't quite get through. And we can see the Great Britain side made the best of limited chances. Naipau again. Oh, well taken. Good play. Karu, that's a good ball. Kuru going for the corner. This is better. Bogey. Oh, he's lost it. Now, what's Mr. Harrigan explaining? He's saying offside. That when Papia dropped the ball, Great Britain player was in front. So, another chance to go for goal.
Well, he hit the last goal fairly straight, Ryan. He was just a little bit...
Of course, the most recent newcomer, Russia, who played their first test match with France just a couple of weeks ago. And, of course, Papua New Guinea to journey to France when they finish here today. He strikes it and it's there. So 2 points to Karu, his first 2 points of the tour. Pulls a little bit back, 10 points to 2 for Great Britain. And I think, Alec, that was as well going for goal. It gives them some confidence, doesn't it?
Well, that's got rid of one record because they've nilled them in both matches, one against Wales and one against the under-21s. And there was a bigger cheer on the bench. You'd think they'd just won the cup, but the word from the stand is, Malcolm, really, keep up the defence.
A high kick. Bit of a risky pass, but Bogey manages to get hold of it. Looking a little more confident now, Papua New Guinea. This Naipau in the second row is making some ground, John.
Well, he does seem to be the forward, Ray, that's hitting the advantage line and trying to get the ball forward. You've got to play that advantage line and catch the ball right on the play the ball line, and that's the way that you do get the ball forward.
And Karu having a good game, good kick, testing kick. Hampson's up to it. Good tackle from Kuru. Does he lose the ball? Yes, he does. So, Papua New Guinea now on the attack, really showing Great Britain something. Here's that man again, Naipau. The Tarangau club in Port Moresby. Haru moving it now to Karu, tries to turn it inside. Keeping the ball moving. This is the style of rugby that they like. Little Paglipari can't get through. Good tackle by Sean Edwards. They've got to use their hands, they've got to use their pace. These Papuans, they're not big enough to take Great Britain on down the middle. Need to stretch it. Kuru again. Good ball. Out to Naipau. He seems to be in everything. Good tackle. And Great Britain on the rack for the first time. Carew again. Nice kick. Here's a chance. No. The handover. Well, I think a little bit of a problem there for Richard Wigambi. I think he thought that he should have had the ball, but it was a handover.
Well, it was a great passage of play for the New Guinea side. They penetrated for their 6 tackles and put a nice little kick through on the 6th, and maybe Great Britain played at the ball, and he might have been hard done by not to get the ball back.
You think there was any complacency, Alec, from the Great Britain side?
Well, I think the way we're playing the game is we must surely use the 3 quarters. We can't keep taking these fellas down the middle because they're tackling very, very well, and really they're coming back into the game.
Powell. Schofield, Edwards looking to open out play, but nobody there. And suddenly I sense these Papuans beginning to realise that perhaps we might be able to do something here at Central Park. Good tackle by Dermot. Just 20 minutes gone here at Central Park. 10 points to 2. The 2 tries for Great Britain, Schofield and Moriarty. Just the Carew penalty. Bogey. In fact, John, they're so keen to get into the game now, they're getting into each other's way.
Well, there's not a lot of organisation there. They've got a few things to sort out, but this fella can certainly kick the ball a standoff, and he's kicked the ball a long way, but there could be a chance here down the sideline. Sullivan,
now then, this boy can run. To Davis. Was it a forward? Yes, it was. Anthony Sullivan, son of the late Clive Sullivan, the Great Britain skipper. Fine player. His dad would have been very proud of him today.
Again, a very inexperienced play from him, but playing rugby league at international level doesn't matter who. I've never seen a player come back to club football that hasn't benefited by it.
Sullivan again. Well, touch judge there, Mr. Ward from Oldham spotted something. One or two of these Papua New Guinea lads beginning to get a little fired up. The coach did say that he had to really fire them up in defence, but possibly a little too much.
Well, here you see the player, number 2 comes in, and there's nothing too subtle about the shot. I think he just unloads a punch and hits the player right in the face. It's a cheap shot of the best order.
Yes, I think he's very lucky not to be dispatched to the sin bin there. Mr. Harrigan, of course, on the far side, didn't see the incident himself, but well done, the touch judge there, Mr. Ward.
What it has done, Ray, is it'll put Great Britain in a great attacking chance and position, and I'm sure they'll make the most of their chances this time.
Edwards to Harrison. Great Britain still persisting, driving down the middle with these big forwards. Edwards, Betts again, but not finding any way through at the moment. Referee Harrigan, very even-handed. Edwards again, looking for the gap with Betts. A little more positive approach in this defence. Just inches short, the 5th tackle. Edwards to Jackson, oh, he loses it. A golden opportunity there for Trinity's Michael Jackson on his debut to score, not to be. So the handover. Paglipari again, not the biggest of players, but certainly a big heart beneath that yellow jersey.
Yeah, I think the Great Britain side will be saying now, let's not let them out of this 22, let's keep them down here and don't let them over the 22 line in the 5 tackles. as you can see, Ray, they're doing it very tough to try and get out of their own half, and they resort to the big clearing kick of their standoff.
He certainly can kick, John, can't he, this lad Carew. Hampson. Any problems, Alec, from the Great Britain bench with the way things are going?
Well, they're not too pleased about playing the ball down the middle. They do want to see people like Jonathan Davis and Sullivan getting more chances. I think we're tending to play forward football instead of giving the 3 quarters a goal. We're all trying to score tries.
So Schofield now, can he open this game out to Jackson? Powell. This is better now. They've got an overlap here. Hampson, he's got Davis again. Can't get through.
Right, leave him, get away.
Needs to quick play the ball now, whilst the Papuans are out of position.
Get away.
Good long ball there to Schofield. Moriarty, oh, a wild pass. I think Paul Moriarty was looking for a centre to be there, John.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with what Alex is saying. You know, I think guys like Moriarty, they've got to get in the middle and roll their sleeves up and do some tough work and leave those backline shots to the backs.
So Papua New Guinea scrum half, skipper there, Stanley Haru, been a difficult time for him, and that just shows the strength there. Edwards on the blind side. First heel against the head to Powell. Now it needs an early ball to Davis. Has he got the pace? Oh, good tackle. That was a good tackle from Wigambi. But it's Great Britain now on the attack. Schofield, the dummy. No, good tackle again. Certainly sticking at the task. Harrison. Just 3 yards there from this Papua New Guinea line. Edwards again, opening it out. Schofield, that's a good ball.
Well, their handling's just letting them down a little bit down there, Ray, but they're, you know, you've got to give the Papua New Guineas plenty of praise. They're scrambling well in defence. They're getting back and they're equalising out wide, and they've held the Great Britain side out. They're playing very well in defence now. They've lifted their game.
And there we can see the glaring handling errors. 5 times Great Britain have lost this ball or mispassed. And it's credit to Papua New Guinea, the pressure, they're moving Great Britain back there in the tackle. The manager, Rod Pearce, spoke about pride. He spoke about this being a test match, and I think we can see the difference, Alec, can't we?
Well, I just listening to what John said up there, I think everybody wants to run with the ball, and nobody wants to put the ball over the line. We've got to take the ball forward, and Great Britain are doing that now, but the problem is we're all in the wrong places. We've got forward stood in the centre, and really they should be down the middle.
Just like this man now, Moriarty, and he's there, and that is exactly what Alex Murphy and John Morney were saying. They want big men like that in the middle who can pound down. And there's Moriarty's second try of the match. Well, what a debut for this big lad from Swansea.
Well, he is a big guy, and I'd hate to be handling him down the middle. And that time he got in nice and tight to the play of the ball, and he powered up. And the Papua New Guinea players aren't going to stop him down the middle like this. You know, he's 6 foot whatever, 6'3", 6'4", and you know, well up around the 17 stone mark, and they just can't hold him out. So if they put a few power plays on like that, here you see him coming now, nice and tight and hard. They haven't got much of a chance. There's that poor little number 6 again, the standoff, and he's got no chance to stop Paul. And he's certainly seconds of the game, you know, or the first 6 tackles of the game. You tend to get a little bit slack, but with forwards like Harrison, Platt, Betts, and Moriarty, I'm sure that they can really punch some holes down the middle and then let the backs do the work.
And 14 points to 2 for Great Britain, but I think we saw Jonathan Davis there really annoyed with himself. A kick that should have been between those posts. Just 10 minutes left in this first half. Not the points avalanche that many predicted, but Great Britain still comfortable and I think moving well. Michael Jackson. Platt driving in. This is the sort of running from these forwards that we need to see.
You'll probably find Harrison will double this up now, and Harrison will take his turn down the middle, and they're just putting a lot of big holes in them down the middle, which does give the backs the sort of room that they need.
Edwards now. Good ball to Powell. Runs straight into the hands of Carew. Betts again. Interesting, John, we're going a lot from the acting half-back position.
Well, I think the forwards think if there's yards to take down the middle, you take the yards, and they play a very good field position wise, and just try to mix the tactics up then with the bomb. We haven't seen one this game, and but they're going all right at the moment, Great Britain. I wouldn't be that worried about the score. I think they're doing a lot of the simple things of the game correctly.
Paglipari. Nothing. Just Davis, Powell, Schofield and Betts remaining from that last test against Papua New Guinea in Port Moresby.
Right, leave him, let him up.
We can hear the touch judge there. Interesting to see how quickly he wants that play the ball. That's a bad kick. Especially when you kick to a man as big as Newlove. To Hampson. Nobody with him. Great Britain certainly taking advantage of this slackness around, and Great Britain just having the better of things though.
Well, it's an easy game to play, isn't it, Ray, if you're going forward with the ball like these guys are going forward with the ball, and the big guys are getting the yards down the middle, and I'm sure in the second half it'll loosen up a little.
But all credit to Papua, they are sticking at it, and here's the man who's terrorising them, Paul Moriarty. Now we've had the bomb, we've had the cross kick from Schofield and Edwards. What will this one be? It's the high one again. Well taken, very well taken there by Wenega. Oh, that's a bad handling header. Here's a chance, Schofield now, he's got a 4-1. Oh, should he have done it? Well, will he still get in? He will. But the shape of Darryl Powell. I think Gary Schofield made it a little difficult for everybody, John, but nevertheless, it's a try.
Well, he did. It was, there's a lot of space out there for him to use. Probably too much time to think. And, once they settled down there, they got the ball over the line. It was a great tackle here that from Dennis Betts that rattled the ball out. Martin Dermott on hand to pass it on. The ball went to Schofield with a lot of room out there and only two defenders. Scoey took took the wrong option there when he tried to get inside himself. An overhead pass, bit of scrambling defence, but nobody else has come across, and it's another try to Darryl Powell. He gets across quite easy in the end.
Yep, this boy.
Size of Newlove has helped things here too. He's a big player, and he was able to stand in the tackle with the attention of two players.
So, Davis again. 10 yards in, on the 25-yard line. No wind. A good kick, better than his previous attempts. Put his mind to it this time, he'll be happier. And Great Britain moving out now, 20 points to 2.
This is the winger standing up in the tackle. He's got two players there, but they can't put him to ground. He's got his hands free and the ball in two hands, and an easy inside pass to Darryl Powell.
Powell, Sheffield Eagles skipper, leading the Eagles surge from Division 2. Schofield, Platt.
This is where Carl Harrison and and the big forwards are doing the damage when they're just coming one off the ruck like that, Ray. They're really punching some holes in them.
I think, Alex, 5 minutes to go to half-time. Mal really will be happy at this platform that they've built.
Yes, I think he'll be very pleased. The Great Britain lads are doing it right. The forwards are making a lot of ground from the play of the ball, and really I think in the second half you'll see a vast difference. I think you'll see an avalanche in the second half.
Michael Jackson not relishing that tackle, but still the play goes on. Britain opening it out more now. Schofield and Edwards beginning to look very, very dangerous in midfield. But Mr. Harrigan, offside. The Australian referees certainly do insist on getting players back, John.
Yeah, well, that was a nice piece of refereeing that a lot of people probably missed. They were well inside the 5 and they came up and cut off Schofield's options, but the referee let the play go on and gave Great Britain every chance of scoring the points before he penalised them when they didn't.
And Great Britain electing to take the tap, keeping the pressure. Edwards. Schofield again, directing operations, looks for the short ball. Just 2 or 3 minutes. Martin Dermott going very, very regularly from acting half-back position. Schofield, Harrison, Schofield, and the 5th tackle. Will Edwards do his little chip kick through? No. Betts will? No, neither. Significant though that Papua New Guinea number 11 there, James Naipau, he's there. He's certainly earning his money this afternoon.
It was a good kick into the in goal, Ray, because it forced the Papua New Guineas to play at the ball. So instead of getting the 22 tap, they've got a goal line drop out and puts Great Britain back on the attack. And we'll see what happens. But there's some points not far away.
Jackson showing the pace that he showed at Trinity this year, beautifully taken by Schofield. That was good rugby. So Great Britain looking for more points just before the half-time. The good ball to Platt. Oh, little too casual there from Martin Dermott, wasn't looking. Paglipari just signalling he wants the ball moving to the left. Good ball. Just 3 minutes to go. Britain leading 20 points to 2. And the defence moving in very, very quickly. Good tackling there from that Wigan duo. Platt and Dermott. Needs the kick from Carew again. It's there. Oh, I think actually Steve Hampson, John, was wanting Paul Newlove to come inside him there.
Well, he was trying to work down that 10-yard line on the other side, and if the winger comes in, well, there's a pass on the outside, but probably the impact of that tackle knocked the ball out. I think it was a very good tackle, and Hampson was keeping the ball available. As you can see here, he's got the ball out in front of him, but there was nothing on it. It was a very, very good tackle, and it was the force of the tackle that knocked the ball out.
It certainly was. Good tackle there from Chris Itam. So can Papua put some more points on the board before this half-time? Carew. Good tackle from Schofield. Nothing. These Cummels really got to move this ball out wide to the wings. I can't see them making much headway down the middle, giving away a couple of stones a man in the pack. Bogie. This is better. Good play. These two centres, Wagambi, Bogie, given the chance, combine well. Wagambi again. Now then, looking for a kick from Carew, possibly a high one. It is. It's a good one. It's a tester on Hampson. Oh, he takes it well. The master of the high ball, Steve Hampson, really can jump in the air and take that pass. Sullivan. Great Britain will be looking just to hold play here, keep it in the forwards. Dennis Betts.
That's certainly Steve Hampson's forte, that the high ball. He certainly doesn't miss many, and but it was a very good 6 tackles again by Papua New Guinea. They appeared to have a little bit more organisation then and tried to move the ball around.
Schofield. Any injury news down there, Alec, as we approach half-time?
No, I think everybody's happy on the bench. I think Malcolm really will be quite happy with the score. I think he realised in the second half one or two of these Papua New Guinea lads will tire, and hopefully that's when Great Britain will put the pressure on.
But forwards still coming. Hoffman just into injury time. Naipau again. What a good game he's had. Oh, and a good pass. Paglipari. He gets it away. This is better. Oh, good ankle tap there by Moriarty. Stops naffing. But certainly Papua now giving their best shots. Karu looks inside to Haru. Bogie. Good handling from Papua New Guinea. And that's a penalty. Silly there from Dennis Betts. Little indiscipline. Not allowing the Papuan to play the ball. And I'm sure, John, that one or two of these Papuans are determined to go home with some points. He's going for goal.
Yeah, they're enterprising in their play at the moment. Their last couple of possessions have been very good, and that's the second penalty Dennis Betts has given away. And you know, there's his discipline on both occasions hasn't been good. He's got to get his mind on the job and you know, make sure that he doesn't do those sort of things. It's just bad play.
So, and there we see the Papuans, how cold this British climate is for them. Only anyone who has ever visited the country and played rugby there and appreciated the temperatures as high as the 90s will realise what difficult conditions they have to contend with when they come over here. As I said, when they first arrived in Swansea 2 weeks ago, they raided and bought every piece of thermal underwear in a local shop. So, Karu, another 2 points, and well deserved for that piece of play. But there is the hooter. Great Britain coach Mal Reilly, I'm sure, delighted with that. That's the basis.
Looking at the table there, Ray, we've still got Great Britain's still got a few games in hand, but you've got to win those games. So you know, I'd say they'd be looking for some points in this half.
Yep, Great Britain, 3 matches to play, one in Australia on tour next summer, this one against Papua New Guinea, and France after Christmas. And of course the top 2 in that league playoff at Wembley in the World Cup final next October. So,
and I think it would be fitting if Great Britain played Australia at Wembley. That'd be a great day at Wembley.
And dare I say to an Aussie, would it be fitting again if they beat Australia at Wembley, John?
Well, I don't know about that, Ray. I'm sure it'll be a good day, though.
Any news from half-time, Alec, from the benches?
Well, the message from the bench is quite simple, Ray. Just keep on doing what you're doing. It'll come. They know they've got to score points, but I think in the second half you'll find out the lads will ease down a little bit. They've all been a little bit tense, and they'll go out and do the business.
And I think there, from the match facts, we can see the pressure there on that Papua New Guinea side. 78 tackles made in that first half. And again, a good long kick from Great Britain, wanting to put the pressure on these Kumuls straight away. Driving it.
Very impressed with the defensive line of the Great Britain side. They've gone up on each tackle, and you know that's the secret about playing good defence. You must go forward, and then they've put a lot of pressure on the kicker as well.
Yes, I think it's worth possibly stating, John, that we're talking about attack, and yet it was significant in that league table. Only 59 points conceded by Mal Reilly's team.
Well, they've worked hard on their defence. I know, management-wise, coaching-wise, in the Great Britain side, they see it as a major concern, and they've done something about it. And the Great Britain side shaping up very nicely.
So, Michael Jackson beginning to come more and more into the game. A £70,000 signing from Hunslet this season by Wakefield Trinity, and possibly the bargain buy.
Well, he's a player that we don't know a lot about. He hasn't been around the scene for a lot of time, but he's certainly played well in the lead-up games, and he deserves his selection in this side.
Schofield. That's a good kick, hovering on the line. Is it a try? I think it is. Mr. Harrigan taking up the position. It's another try for Moriarty. Would you believe it? A hat-trick. A hat-trick from Paul Moriarty. What a debut, what a day for this former Welsh and Swansea Rugby Union star. Now with witness, and what an impact he's making.
Well, he played very well for the Welsh side when he represented Wales, and this is a nice little set piece. Schofield's got everybody over on his left, and it's a pinpoint kick, pinpoint accuracy. Steve Hampson does very well here, where he gets up and contests the catch. And actually, when you watch the caption, the try scorer was Jackson, but they have awarded the try to Moriarty. But I think if you'll see that Jackson gets first hand of the ball.
Well, we'll just see now. It bounces, it comes back. Does Jackson? Well, yes, he gets a hand to it. Although they all congratulated Moriarty.
Well, I think we can see a little bit more than the players out on the field. They'll all claim a try, Ray.
Yep, and there's Jonathan Davis. He's claiming the goal. So 2 points from Davis, 26 points to 4. Just 42 minutes gone.
Yes, I think if we wait a little longer, I'm sure Moriarty will get one of his own anyway, but they'll put that one down in the record books for him.
Well, let's have another
crossfield bomb. It's a good kick,
yep.
But the big player is Hampson getting up in front of the number 6.
There is Jackson hanging back, 13. It hits Carew. You're right. Well, or does he get it? It's debatable. So a chance now for the Papua New Guinea side. Carew to Bulgi. Wagambi. Again, as we said, good defence by this Great Britain side. Coming up in a line, keeping steady, keeping tight. Good run. These two props, Unagi and Naffin, they'll have learned something on this tour. They're driving hard. And Carew keeping the ball moving. This is Papua New Guinea style. They like to handle, they like to move this ball. 10 yards now from this Great Britain line, looking for a try. Good short ball for a good tackle. Very good tackle there by Jackson. 5th tackle. Paglipari, I don't think he realises what he was. And Moriarty. Difficult times, Alec, for the Papua New Guinea side.
Well, we're really struggling a little bit, Papua New Guinea. They're giving a lot of weight away, and really I've got the Papua New Guinea coach with me now, Ray. Rod, are you pleased where things are going?
Oh, yeah, overall there's been 3 bad mistakes that we've given 18 tackles back to Great Britain. I think they've scored on each of those occasions we've given them the ball. Overall, it's not too bad, but the scoreline at 26-4 is maybe the game's beyond us now.
Well, there you are, Ray. The game's beyond them. I don't think it is beyond them, because I still think they're playing some entertaining football, and I think they're playing a lot better in this game than they did in the previous 2.
Certainly more fired up than in the previous 4 matches, which sadly they lost. Referee Harrigan keeping the Great Britain players back, but we can see the intense pressure that Papua New Guinea have been under. Very rarely have they been out of their half. That's a good ball. This is good running. Davis. Little slack pass there from Wagambi. Forward.
Yeah, again, Ray, I think that was a good call from the referee. He was in a good position to see the ball, and I thought it went forward.
Papua New Guinea, one of the babes in the international world of rugby league. Quite a few countries now beginning to blossom. South Africa very interested, and we understand to take part in the Sevens tournament in Australia, Tonga, Western Samoa, Russia of course, and Papua only granted full test status in 1979 and doing well enough.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough today to suggest that this side playing in their own country would, they could give you all sorts of problems. And I think if we look back to that last tour that Great Britain did, I think they came up with a win there, didn't they, against the Great Britain touring side?
They did, John, at Goroka. Very different conditions. I was there. It was not 95 degrees, but they played with tremendous ferocity. But Great Britain now back on the attack. Jackson just can't quite make that break to show us his electrifying burst. Edwards, Platt. Great Britain still driving down the middle, using these big lads, then switching. Powell beginning to cause problems outside here, but not to this little man, this number 9 Paglipari. He can't be more than about 5'3", 5'4" in height, but he's a real bundle of tricks. Moriarty put the hand over. 6 tackles.
Well, you can't doubt their commitment, the New Guinea side. They've got their heads down. They're all trying to work hard, and they're playing with a bit of flair, which is obviously the way they play the game in Papua New Guinea. And they've got to take their chances, and they're taking a few chances with the ball.
And there is a difference in Test match rugby. The game heightens. Oh, Davis almost intercepted there, but referee Harrigan spotted the first knock on. I thought to players. He's rather in the mould of the old-fashioned referees here we used to have in England.
Well, he's got good authority, hasn't he? He stamps his authority on the game. The players know exactly where they stand, and it doesn't appear like he tries to stand over the players at all.
Good move to Hampson. Launches Newlove. Now then, it's Newlove. Oh, stepped inside. Should have gone possibly for the corner, but pulled the cover across, and surely now Great Britain will want to keep the play down here now. They'll drive it close a couple of times, bring in these Cummels, and then switch. There's the switch to Betts, but good tackle. Good tackle by Winega. And once again we see another handling error from Great Britain. Paglipari again. And there we can see, John, that's significant, isn't it? Handling errors, 7 to Great Britain.
Well, I'd say most of those handling errors have been when they've been down in that strike zone, down in that opposition 22, where they've tried to put the last pass and the player through the gap or over the line, and that's where they've broken down a little bit.
Edwards. Schofield to Sullivan. This boy's quick. He's too quick. That's a try. That was copybook rugby from Anthony Sullivan. He helped himself to 2 tries down at Swansea for Wales. And here he is, £80,000 buy from Hull Kingston Rovers for St Helens this season, and certainly becoming a fine wingman.
See the end of the play there where Schofield put Sullivan in the clear, but there was some nice work done by Sean Edwards too at the base of the scrum. He just tied the players up close to the scrum and gave Schofield that little bit of extra room. Sullivan scored a nice try though. It wasn't just run one in.
Copybook rugby, I think, here. The pass from Schofield, but just notice how Sullivan just moves inside, cuts back and gives himself that extra yard there on the defender.
Yeah, nice classic winger's try.
Good wingmen beat fullbacks on the outside. And here is a good goal kicker, Jonathan Davis. 3 goals from the 5 attempts. Had 1 or 2 difficult shots, but on the touchline, no, not quite. So 30 points to 4 for Great Britain. And 51 minutes gone. And time, Alex, I see, for a substitution. Gary Connolly coming on for Steve Hampson.
Yes, and what a timely substitution and all. The kid I signed at St Helens, he's thoroughly deserved it on his form this year. And we've just had a chat on the bench out here, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Just go out and enjoy it, son, and just play like you can do."
So, Gary Connolly being in superb form for St Helens in the centre this season. A local lad, came up through the amateur rugby league ranks, makes his debut, and an ideal time, John, I think, to blood a young back.
Well, they've played very well, you know, all the younger players. You know, Jackson's made his mistakes, but he's certainly had an input into the game and played well. And Sullivan on the other wing, Connolly's a good player, he won't let the side down. It's just great experience for the younger players to get into a game like this. You know, when it's not live and die, it's you know, there's a bit of latitude in the score there for them to you know, to learn a little bit about international rugby league.
And here I think we can see Harrison, obviously a punch coming there, yes, from number 11. Naipaul, not too dangerous, not too hostile, but a punch nevertheless. And I think really Johnny's taking his life in his hands, having a punch at a man as big as Harrison.
Yeah, although Harrison's got good discipline, I'm sure that he'd play the game with controlled aggression and wouldn't get involved in anything like that. And it's good to see that the referee and the linesman are doing a good job.
Edwards. Betts. Great Britain still pounding away, beginning to put the game together now, and obviously I think at this stage Papua will be tiring. Tremendous amount of tackling. Edwards, Moriarty again. Can he even get another try? He's so big to knock down by these youngsters. Another 6 tackles. Connolly did well to hold on there. I think he must have heard referee Bill Harrigan shout another 6 tackles. The ball hit a Papua New Guinea player. Edwards looks for Betts. The knock on. I'm sure that lad there will be longing for the warmer climes of Goroka, Mount Hagen and Port Moresby.
They just look like they're going to try and power up here, Great Britain, and see if they can power over the line. But they've got a good clean ball from the scrum New Guinea. And we'll see if they can get out of that 22 again.
There he goes again, this lively little hooker there, Paglipari and Wigambi.
They've been 2 great runs from dummy half, and they've picked up 20 yards down the middle, which is probably as good as they've done all day.
Tremendous pressure on them. That's a good run. This boy Bogey again, the kick, the chase, a little too hard. But that will give them some hope. That will give them a boost. Philip Bogey, the Royals Club.
Well, we just pick it up a little bit late here, and he's taken the odds to a kick ahead with the fullback to beat. So it was 3rd or 4th tackle.
Paul Newlove.
He's a player, Ray, I think will do well against Australia next year, Newlove, and Darryl Powell's played very well today. You know, it's good to see the younger players out here getting a chance to play for their country. And this big fella's taken a whole power of stopping, and
he's not a bad handler, John, either, is he? He can offload a ball.
Handles the ball really well, and, you know, I'm sure he'll get over the line again today.
Sean Edwards. Not quite finding the gaps. They've picked well, that tackle, almost a spear tackle, yes. That is illegal, that can be highly dangerous, and we can see the referee Harrigan telling Haru, the Papua New Guinea captain, who should know better than that. A most dangerous tackle, the spear tackle, outlawed in rugby league. And as you can see, it shakes you
here's Sean Edwards. He's just come across the field looking for a hole. There's nothing on, so he's just locked the ball up, taken the ball in. You see the player here come in and rip the legs out. Now, once they lift the player, that's very dangerous. And, you know, the referee did the right thing by penalising them.
But, as we can see, Papua New Guinea still urging each other on, still wanting to keep that line intact. Great Britain looking for points. Edwards. The long ball. Newlove's in. Paul Newlove. It was the pass from Sean Edwards. This lad from Featherstone Rovers, back in the Test side. 4 caps to his credit, the youngest ever Test player when he represented Britain against New Zealand in '89.
Yeah, it's a nice little piece. They've taken the ball across field. Sean Edwards brings the ball across here. Plenty of runners for him, and a pinpoint pass just hits Newlove right where he couldn't drop the ball, and that's another point. Everybody's happy except Jonathan Davis. A little bit of a hard kick for him. It's a great ball there. He's got the option. He's got 4 runners to pick from, Sean, and it's a great ball. Hits a man right in the chest.
So, Davis, just 3 goals, not had the easiest of chances. Helped himself to 8 goals when Wales beat Papua New Guinea. That looks true. It is no problem with that one. Well struck, high, typical Jonathan Davis style. So 58 minutes gone, 36 points to 4 for Great Britain.
Just again goes to highlight, you know, how important discipline is in rugby league, Ray. That try came as a direct result of some, you know, illegal play. The spear tackle gave Great Britain a chance to get down there, and then they had the quality players to do the rest.
Alec, do we make more substitutions, or do we concentrate on more points?
Well, I think we've got to do now is get 1 or 2 of the lads on. I think they're queuing up. There's 1 or 2 tired lads out there, and I would think of Andy Platt, who never stops trying, and Dennis Betts. I think now might be a good time to just give them a bit of a rest.
I certainly agree with that, Alec. I'd get them both off.
and there's the coach of a team that's playing Salford on Wednesday night. So, good linking there. Well intended, but not the best of kicks. A knock on, but certainly Kuru did the right thing, linked up, tried to put the kick through.
I think Gary Schofield was just asking the question then, was that a charge down, or but it's a judgment call from Harrigan, the referee, and you know, he's judged it to be a knock on.
Bogey. Only a young lad, this Philip Bogey, just 24. Plenty of time to come from Paglipari. Naipau enjoyed himself this afternoon, and I think earned himself quite a reputation, John.
Yeah, he has, Ray. He's taken the ball forward well. He just shows a willingness to probably, you know, not be intimidated or pushed back by the Great Britain players.
That's good play. Haru. Papua New Guinea looking for a try. It would be a welcome bonus to them. To Karu. Sullivan.
Right, lead it, lead it. Get off.
And it's that man again. It's Naipau. That's
yes.
the second time he's struck out at a player. He's certainly enthusiastic, but I think Mr. Harrigan's having a word with the referee, and is he sending him to the sin bin? No.
Yeah, I think he's got 10 minutes in the sin bin.
10 minutes in the sin bin.
You know, it's poor discipline. He's going to make it very hard for his side. They're already doing it tough, and He was fired up in the last tackle out here in the middle of the park, and then he's gone over there and doubled up his errors, so hasn't helped the team.
He's only a youngster, he's a student in Papua New Guinea, so perhaps he'll learn. Harrison again, powering down the middle. Certainly done a lot of work, Platt and Harrison and Betts in the centre.
Yeah, I think Martin Dermott's played very well at dummy half too, Ray. The service that he's given those forwards, he's brought them onto the ball and mixed it up a little bit with a few good runs, and you know, he's been another one of Great Britain's good players.
So, Great Britain on the attack. Schofield, that's a good ball to Platt. That's a good ball from a prop forward. Davis now then. Can he show us electrifying burst? He beats two men. Just gets himself tied up. And the handover, I think Davis forgot to count the number of the tacklers. And Cal Furbank coming on, possibly, I think, for Andy Platt. Furbank, an experienced Great Britain forward. Bradford Northern, the strength of the tackle, simply forcing the ball out there. Powell, no, it's Jackson. Michael Jackson now showing that pace, and he's there. Michael Jackson goes over for the try. Once he got clear, there was no stopping that lad. He's ripped in for tries this season against sides like Wigan, Leeds and St Helens. He's risen from obscurity inside 3 months, and who knows, he could be on his way to a Great Britain tour at the end of this season.
Yeah, the defence was the big play that knocked the ball out, but Jackson's got his position in this side because he's been able to run the ball in broken play, and he just showed his strength there and great speed. He's outrun one of the centres, and you know, he's definitely a very strong player who runs the ball really well in broken play.
And there it is.
Good try.
So, an easier shot for Davis, but let's not forget that one in the first half when he hit the upright. But Davis, record point scorer for Widnes, still continuing to get the points. 36 goals before this game. And there it is, another 2 points. 42 points to 4 now. 64 minutes gone, and I think Alex, it'll be a case of Papua New Guinea hanging in here now, won't it?
Yes, I think the next 10 minutes is going to be absolutely crucial for Papua New Guinea. But wasn't it nice to see young Michael Jackson? What a lot of pace this kid's got. He's going to be a sensation in Australia.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power and he's a good broken field runner. He certainly will be good in Australia on those harder fields.
And there is Cal Furbank, experienced Bradford Northern forward. I think the the prop forward there, Unagi from the Highlands, arguing a little there with Bill Harrigan, but it won't make any difference. And Great Britain now just content to keep Papua New Guinea down in this 25, 30 yard area. They can't get away. Papua New Guinea, Alec, I think in difficulties with these floodlights, because their manager was saying they hardly ever played under them.
Well, I can believe that in Port Moresby. It's very, very warm out there, but it's like Clapham Junction down here in this in the tunnel. Everybody's been. It looks like he's putting everybody on and giving them a game, just for a little bit of experience.
Good play there by the skipper, by Schofield. And there are the floodlights. Strange for these Papua New Guineans. Connolly, now then. Good run. That's confidence there for that youngster. Britain now. Dermot to Betts. Will we see a try from Betts? I think we will. Yes, we do. Just too strong. The defence now from Papua becoming a little ragged. They've worked hard, they've tackled hard, but really it takes some holding, these lads. 16 stone, 6'1", and very, very quick as well.
Yeah, it was a great run from Gary Connolly to get down the middle in the first place, and you know, it did him a lot of good, the run. Dennis Betts is always strong coming back inside. He's got a good fend, and I know from being his coach at Wigan, he's had a very good season, and he's wholehearted every game he plays, and it was a very good try. Good upper body strength there where he gets rid of that player, uses a good fend as well. A lot of the skills of rugby league here, kicks out of the tackle and then just powers up and uses brute strength to get across the line.
And there we see Dermot setting it up, running at an angle, very difficult to stop if, as you can see from those Papua New Guinea players, have been moving the wrong way. And it's power, it's strength and the sheer will to score. And a whole mass, as Alex said, of substitutes coming on. He likened it to Clapham Junction. We've got Derek Fox coming on at scrum half for Great Britain for Sean Edwards, and Tiri and Gaki coming on for Papua New Guinea. Now then, Harrigan there giving a penalty. Well, I think that was for a blow that was struck as the Dennis Betts was going over. Now this is a rare occurrence in rugby league, but this, John, is possibly one of those rare 8-point occasions. The try scored by Betts, the penalty conversion by Jonathan Davis, but of course if an incident takes place in the act of scoring, it's a penalty in front of the post.
Well, they get the 4 points for scoring the try, Ray. They get the 2 points for the conversion, and then there was a foul after the try had been scored. So the referee was on hand and he noted it. So it's like getting a penalty after you've scored the try. So it's an 8-point try.
So that 8 points try takes them out now.
Here's Dennis Betts here getting over the line. Then there's a player comes down here very late on him with a swinging right arm, and you know, it's a cheap shot, it's a hit over the top, and they paid the price again, another 2 points.
So Unagi pays the price, and Great Britain cracked the half century. 11 minutes to go, and I think there'll be a little personal pride here now with his British lads. Can they beat that Welsh score that was 68 points to nil down at Swansea? The long kick to Jackson now gaining in confidence, wanting the ball, wanting to run with it. And here's another man, Moriarty. 2 forwards there, gaining 30 yards. Harrison. And that, John, that sequence of three drives shows the power of that Great Britain trio, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. And then when you bring a fellow like Fairbank on, you know, he's just as big and just as strong, and he can hit the line just as hard. So, you know, they've got a lot of power in this Great Britain side.
Schofield to Davis. Still in play. Not now. Well intended though. Well intended. Anthony Sullivan a little annoyed. I think there was a little off the ball incident. And Mr. Harrigan just settling them down.
Yeah, it's a little bit late. It's a little bit late for the Papua New Guinea side to be fired up and, you know, and starting to play very aggressive football. We've got about 10 minutes to go and it's all over.
Certainly number 2 there, Kuru. He's been lively on that wing, and an injury looks to his shoulder. The Wanega, the fullback. Papua New Guinea then in possession, trying to open it out, looking for a try. Again, nice passing, nice movement, but just cannot break that line. Haven't got really the pace or the size to either go round or through this very good British defence. Lapang, the substitute, and it looks as if Pagli Pari is injured.
Leave it.
That's a knock on, I think. No, referee Harrigan on the blind side of it.
Yeah, I think there was a little fumble there, Ray, but he was, you know, he covered up well.
Furbank relishing his time now on the field. Derek Fox, long ball, and it finds Moriarty out there. Good pass. Well held, Davis. Well looked after, well contained here this afternoon at Central Park. Connolly.
There are those yards down the middle again, Ray, where you know, Gary Connolly's been able to dummy half run that. And
that's a good ball to Betts. He takes it well to Powell. Looks for support, but still these Papua New Guineans keep tackling. Now then, can Great Britain swing it to the left? The high kick. Well taken. If one man's been pretty safe and sound, it's been that right wing man, Kuru.
I think they've got a lot of pride in their try line too, Great Britain. They've defended very well, and there's quite a few bruised and battered bodies on the Papua New Guinea side. They're starting to, you know, they're starting to lie around the field, and that's a testament to the good defence from the Great Britain side. I'm sure they'd be very pleased with the way they've tackled this afternoon.
And of course, let's say that in view of that World Cup table, points conceded are as important as much as points gained. Alec, everyone using the substitutes up down there?
Yes, everybody's got a game down here. There's going to be some costly contract payments for one or two of these young lads. But having said that, I think Malcolm really will be very happy with the performance of Great Britain. They've never been out of first gear, and they've played exceptionally well.
Well, he must be happy with a scoreline of 50 points to 4 with 6 minutes remaining. Bogie, good run. I like this centre. He runs well, he's a strong lad. Wigambi, Richard Wigambi from Port Moresby.
He came onto that pass like he was going to make a break, didn't he, Ray? He came onto the ball very square and very hard, and he really made his run count. It was a very impressive run.
He's a fierce customer. Now then, here's a chance. This is a bad bounce, or well taken by Connolly, well judged.
Right, leave it. Let him go.
Papua New Guinea certainly not throwing in the towel, looking for points. Gary Price, second Wakefield Trinity forward, substitute coming on, number 17. Powell. Betts really beginning to run, really beginning to trouble this Papua New Guinea defence now. Fox. Well covered, Joe Gisby, the loose forward, in the perfect position. Good loose forward play there, covering behind the line. And there we can see the tremendous pressure that Papua New Guinea have been under, but all credit to them, they've stuck to their task. They've conceded 50 points, but gained some credit. And here he is again, Wigambi, a good runner. And there's a chance here now for Harry, the captain. Bogie, now then, will he get to the line? Oh, tremendous effort there from Papua New Guinea. Surely they deserve the try. The crowd roaring them on.
They had 6 tackles again too there, Ray, and they just, you know, they got a taste of that try line. They got overexcited and blew their chance, but they did have another 6 there, so it's a missed opportunity for them, but the Great Britain forwards will take over again now and get the ball up around the halfway.
Yes, despite the score, some good performances, I think, from this Papua New Guinea side. The two centres, Bogie, Wigambi, scrum half Haru, Gispi at loose forward, and Naipo in the second row.
Well, they've got a chance here. It's very late in the game, and they've got a scrum feed, and they've got a chance to score some points.
Here's the chance then. The kick. Newlove's onto it. Jackson. Yes, stealing the ball. Not allowed this year. No ball stealing. Just 2 minutes left.
Well, they've kept their minds on the job really well, Great Britain. They've knuckled down to the task, and they've stuck to most of their game plan throughout the game, and had very good field position. They've been down the other end of the field most of the game, and I'm sure that score 50, 60 points in an international game, that's good. It's a good result.
Harrison had a strong game. This Halifax prop forward caused some controversy when he was surprisingly transferred from Hull for £100,000 at the beginning of this season. Settled in nicely at Thrum Hall. Dermot. Oh, he's offside. Surely. Yes, he is. One of those instinctive situations there. The Papua New Guinea player offside, but couldn't resist that little stub at the ball. Lap hand.
Yeah, I think it's more reaction than anything, Ray. I think it's
instinct.
Yeah, it is.
So, last minute effort from Great Britain. Another 6 points would certainly be invaluable. Gary Price. Furbank, is he over? Yes, he is. Once again, the power and the pressure told. Carl Furbank. Bradford Northern second row, substitute. Possibly the last try of the match, and number 13 there, Michael Jackson, the man of the match. What a debut he's had. Picked up a try, some good runs, and good tackling.
Yeah, here's a similar play to the one that Sean Edwards put the winger in before, but instead of going for the long pass like Sean did, Gary Schofield's elected to hit the short ball, and the power and the strength of Fairbank has done the rest. He came onto the ball really nicely, nice and square, and got between players. It was a good try, well worked try.
And Davis' 11th shot at goal. Another 2 points, just coming up to injury time now. And Great Britain comfortably in control, 56 points to 4.
Well, I'm very happy Malcolm Riley and the management, the Great Britain management, will be happy with that scoreline. They've got a nice squad here to build on for their tour of Australia at the end of the year, and certainly the players that have been chosen have repaid that faith in them.
Derek Fox. Still time as far as Great Britain are concerned. No, there it is. There's the hooter. Final score, 56 points to 4. Great Britain players delighted. I'm sure Great Britain coach Mal really will be. And who knows, perhaps enough points put together with France after Christmas to see us into that hope for World Cup final at Wembley in 12 months' time.